Hi all, this is another quick video just to back up what we did the other day making Christmas cards. I've got Google open on my computer. At the moment it's just at the straight Google site where I've got search. I'm going to change that to images by clicking on images. Now I'm in Google Images, so whatever I type in will come back as a picture or a photograph. So to make a Christmas card, I'll choose to type in Santa and then hit search. Wait a few seconds, and here we go, a few Santas. I'll pick this guy, click on him a couple of times. When he comes up, then you have to right click to save it. So I'm going to right click and then save image as, and save it somewhere where I know I'm going to find it. I'll save it into my first folder, and it's called Santa Claus A, and just click save. I might go back one and choose a different Santa. I'll choose scroll down a bit, and I'll save another one. Double click on that one. It's taking a while, and there he is. And again, I will right click the mouse and I will save image as. I'll put it in the same folder as before, save. And now I can get rid of that. Now the most difficult part is I think getting your brushes that you want to use and then saving them in the correct Gimp folder so they're available for you. So I've already typed in DeviantArt, where I decided to pinch my brushes from, and searched, and what came up was DeviantArt and a few subcategories: Photoshop brushes, wallpaper, photography, and down here I've got Gimp brushes. So click on Gimp brushes, and up here type in Christmas brushes. I've already typed it in once before, so there it is, Christmas brushes, and click search art. Okay, I've downloaded all those images together by clicking on them. I've also downloaded these ornamental Christmas tree bulbs, and I'm going to also I've grabbed the pine brushes. I'm now going to grab the Christmas light set by clicking on it, and we'll see the download file over here. Click on the download file, and then we have the Christmas lights. Now click on that, and this is my extracting program. Most of you will have an extracting program for zip files of one sort or another. They're all very similar. Before I can extract to, I need to know where to extract to. With this computer that I'm using, I know that if I go to my C drive, my users, I've called my actual username is Assange. I must have been watching the news when I did that. And there's the Gimp 2.8 folder. Within that Gimp 2.8 folder, which I just double clicked on, are my brushes. And that's where I want to extract all these Christmas lights to. I'll get rid of that, and I'll just click extract to. Gives me my options over here. There we go, Assange, as I said before, Gimp 2.8, and under there, brushes. Click on the brushes and then click OK, and yes to all. I've now extracted all those Christmas lights into the Gimp 2.8 brushes folder. Demonstrate that by starting Gimp up, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up one of the Santas. So I'll open I'll go to my pictures, the folder where I put Santa. I'll choose Big Santa, and there he is. To make the Christmas card, I'm going to need to add a few of my brushes in that I've just downloaded. I'm going to need to make the canvas bigger. So what I'm going to do is go to Image, Canvas Size, and I'll click this chain together so that when I increase the width, the height will also increase. There we go. I'll make it quite big and silly, and I'll drag him into the middle. Click resize. I could even, still using the drag icon, I could drag him all over the place because I've got the drag tool selected. I might drag him over to the side here a tiny bit. Now I can only at the moment actually use that area in there, that original picture size. To be able to use this whole canvas area, I've got to go to layers, and I've got to go layer to image size, which I wish they had it called layer to boundary, layer to canvas size. Same thing. Now you can see that the little line went away, and now we can use this whole area. I'm going to use a brush. There's my brushes, and you can see the brushes have come up. The ferns are there. My little Christmas lights, you can see, have been downloaded. The Christmas bauble has been downloaded. The thing with that bauble, even though it's only with these coloured brushes, they will stay that colour. It doesn't matter what you've got here selected as a foreground, they will stay whatever colour you. I'll keep changing my brushes. Another way of, instead of always having to click that and look at and scroll to look at your brushes, we could open up a tab. We could go add tab, go down to brushes, and then we get to see there's our layers still there. And I've actually made my layers, instead of that tiny little icon we used to get, I've made my layers a lot bigger by going into Edit, Preferences. I can show you how to do that in class. Make this layer much bigger. Your layers dialogues much bigger. Go back to click on the brushes, and there's, say, a little blue light that I downloaded, or we could pick the red light. And because they're coloured, it doesn't matter what these are, what this foreground colour is. But if we were to use a fern or any of these black ones, anything that's black, I'll click on a fern, and you can see it's black. That's because our foreground colour is black. I can change that to green, and next time I click it, it'll be green. Or we might want even a lighter green. We can just drag this up into a light green. Click OK, and we've got a much lighter green. And wherever you click that, you'll get. Now it's not making a lot of sense. I'm just mucking around. I'm not trying to make a groovy card. I'm just demonstrating the brushes. There's a frog. It'll come out as a green frog because, or if I change that to say red, because it's a black image, I'll change it to that frog, and we've got a red frog. So that's how you use brushes. Now we don't like this transparency behind it. The best way, we'll go back to layers, we'll add a new layer, and let's make it a white layer. Now it's back to front now. I want the Santa Claus on top, so that the white, wherever the checkerboard was, it'll now be white. So go down here, and that's how you fix that. We've just put the Santa Claus on top, and all our brushes are on top, and it looks a lot better. And I'll click merge down. I'll right click and I'll merge down, and that's pretty much finished. Unless we wanted to add one of those speech bubbles. So we could use the path tool, is probably the best to get a straight, a pointed, I'll show you. and hit return. And then I'm going to use the ellipse, and I'm going to select add to current selection. We've already got a triangular selection that I made with the path tool, and I'll make sure that that converges with that. Hit return, and now we've got a whole speech bubble with a pointed end towards his mouth. I'm going to use the I'm going to change this to white by double clicking that, or we could have clicked on it and found white there. Either way, use our bucket tool, and it's still selected. We've still got this whole area. You can still see the marching ants, which means we can stroke that any color we want. And I want to stroke it black, so I'll click on the foreground color. I will click over here on the black, OK it, go up to edit, stroke selection. The line width is 6, which I think is a bit much for a cartoony style bubble. So I'll take that down to 4 and stroke, and you can see now the effect that stroking the selection had. And I'll go select none to make it clearer, and you can see what we've done right there. Now there's two ways we could add text in there. We could say Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Johnny or Mary, whoever. We could use our text tool and just type in whatever text and whatever color we wanted the text to be, and whatever font we wanted to use. Or we could also, instead of using that, we could go edit, file, create, logo, and I'll use cartoon. Where's cartoon? Use any of them. Comic book. I've already typed in Happy Christmas there. Click OK. There we have a Happy Christmas. Let's flatten all those layers by going Image, Flatten. Now let's just go Edit, Copy. Go back to our Santa Claus. Go Edit, Paste. And you can see it's a floating pasted selection, but I'm going to click down here on the layer and make it its own layer. It's far too big at the moment, so I'm going to use the scale tool and click on it, and hopefully I'll link this chain together so it scales uniformly, and I'll try and make it fit inside that bubble. Scale, and then I'll use my move tool, click back on the move tool and put it back in there. It's still a little big, so go back to the scale tool and scale it down. Actually, this time I'll uncheck it and I'll just do the width. I'll just scale the width into it. Scale, and use the move tool again, and there we go. And then I'll merge down, and that's finished. And all I have to do now is export it as a JPEG, and then send it off to Snapfish, or take it into some shop, Harvey Norman, Kmart, who knows, wherever you get your photos developed. And it's a cheap way of making a Christmas card. I'm happy to answer any questions by email, or we might try some of this in class next week to make it a bit clearer. Thanks.